Hey guys, so in this video I am going to be going over a problem of finding the volume of an irregular shape. This is actually the first problem in the Go formative that you are going to be doing this week, so if you are needing help with that, then this video will be a great reference for you. So the first thing we need to do is split this shape into either 2s or 3s. So I'm looking at this shape, and if I split it in half, that's still not a regular shape because there will be a little left over. So I'm going to need to split it into 3 different shapes. I could do this 2 ways. I could have it going up and down like this, which is just fine because I know down here is 4 centimeters. So I know up here, if I split it that way, this little chunk will be 4 centimeters. And then same thing over here. I know this is 4, and if the total length is 12, this middle section must be 4 as well. But this is more of the complicated way to do it, so I'm actually going to show you a different way that's a little bit easier. So when you're trying to split the shapes up, make sure you pay attention to that, because sometimes you won't be able to tell the length, the width, or the height, depending on how you break it up. So I'm going to erase these dots, and I am going to actually split it going the opposite way. So I'm going to draw my dots here. So now I have 1 shape, I have 2 shapes, and I have 3 shapes, okay? So I need to find the volume of this one, and this one. I'm sure you're already thinking, well, these should be the same, and you are correct. So we are going to go ahead and start with these. So I need to make sure on each of them that I know the length, the width, and the height. One side gives me more of that information than the other side. So let's take a look over here. I have the length, which is 4 centimeters. I have the width, which is 2 centimeters, and I have the height, which is 4. So essentially, I'm doing 4 times 4 times 2. So now I have 16 times 2, and that gets me 32. Okay, so I'm going to write that in a different color. The volume of this section is 32. Now I need to find it for this one. But I'm sure most of you are already noticing they should be the same, but we should probably just make sure, because it gives us the whole height over here and it doesn't give us the width. So let's talk about the height first. Over here, it shows us that from here to here is 4 centimeters. So from here to here should also be 4 centimeters. So I'm going to erase the 9 and replace it with the 4. And then if the total was 9, then this chunk up here must be the other part of 9, which would be 5. Okay, and it is not labeled the width over here for us, but the width should be the same for the entire shape. So when you are finding the volume of all 3 of these, you should be using 2 as your width. Okay, so you really have to look around the shape and see what information applies to where. So for this one, I know that it is going to be exactly the same because it's 4 times 4 times 2. So I'm not going to waste my time solving it. I am just going to write 32. Now I need to find the volume of this section up here. Okay, so we just talked about how the width would be the same. So we know that it is 2. We know that the length of this entire shape is 12. Okay, so we have 12 times 2 so far. And now we need the height. So we are going from where I drew the line to the top. And we just decided, because this whole side length was 9, that this little section was 5, because we knew from over here that this section was 4. Okay, I know it can be a little confusing, but try to stay with me. If you need to rewatch this video more than once, I really encourage you to do so. So we have the length, we have the width, and now I need to multiply the height. So I have 12 times 2 times 5. I have 24 times 5. If I can't do it in my head, I'm going to do it off to the side. So I have 20, I have 120, okay? So the volume of this top piece is 120. Now, this is the most important part. You found the volumes for all 3 shapes that we split it into, but we need the total volume of this whole shape, okay? The question won't be asking you, what is the volume of this section, okay? So we need to add up all 3 of the volumes that we got. So I'm going to do, well, I know 32 plus 32 is 64, and I have 120 up top. So that is going to equal 184 centimeters cubed, okay? Again, if you can't do this in your head, I encourage you to do it off to the side. Again, some shapes you may only be able to split into two, which is a little bit less work, but this problem worked out where these were exactly the same. So it's kind of the same amount of work as it would be to split this shape into two, but that just wasn't possible, okay? So make sure you split your irregular figures in a way that you can figure out the length, the width, and the height for all three sections, okay? If you have any questions, please reach out through Google Classroom. If you need me to do another problem with you through Zoom, I am happy to do that, but you just need to let me know so that we can get that worked out.